Many see Ethereum as the bedrock layer of what advocates say will be a new, open-source, decentralized internet. Ether, the platform's native currency, has become the second biggest cryptocurrency behind Bitcoin, powering a $1 trillion ecosystem that rivals Visa in terms of the money it moves. Ethereum has brought thousands of unbanked people around the world into the financial systems, allowed capital to flow unencumbered across borders, and provided the infrastructure for entrepreneurs to build all sorts of new products. From payment systems to prediction markets, digital swap meets to medical research hubs. However, despite this, one of the co-founders has made his worries known about the future of crypto. Ethereum has done a lot of good for many people, but it has also pumped pollutants into the air and emerged as a vehicle for tax evasion, money laundering, and mind-boggling scams. Crypto itself has a lot of dystopian potential if implemented wrong, the Russian-born Canadian explains in an interview with Time magazine. Vitalik Buterin is one of the most influential people in the crypto world. He was born outside Moscow in 1994 to two computer scientists, Dmitry Buterin and Natalie Amelin, a few years after the fall of the Soviet Union. Monetary and social systems had collapsed. His mother's parents lost their life savings amid rising inflation. His father was interviewed, saying, "Growing up in the USSR, I didn't realize most of the stuff I'd been told in school that was good, like communism, was all propaganda." So he wanted his son to question conventional thinking, and because of this, he grew up as an independent thinker. Vitalik grew up with a turbulent, teeming mind. His father says Vitalik learned how to read before he could sleep through the night, and was slow to form sentences compared with his peers. Instead of socializing, Vitalik was completely fascinated by the lucidity of numbers. In fact, by the time he was 4 years old, he was already playing around with his family's old IBM computer and would mess around with Excel spreadsheets. By the age of 12, Vitalik was already coding and would utter math equations to pass time. In 2000, Vitalik and his family moved to Canada from Russia, which was also the year that Vladimir Putin was first elected. In 2011, Vitalik's father, Dmitry, introduced him to Bitcoin. After seeing the collapse of financial systems in both Russia and the US, Dmitry was intrigued by the idea of an alternative global money source that was uncontrolled by authorities. Vitalik soon began writing articles exploring the new technology for the magazine Bitcoin Weekly, for which he earned 5 Bitcoins a pop. Back then, some $4, today it would be worth about $200,000. At 18, he co-founded Bitcoin magazine and became its lead writer, earning a following both in Toronto and abroad. As Buterin learned more about the blockchain technology on which Bitcoin was built, he began to believe using it purely for currency was a waste. The blockchain, he thought, could serve as an efficient method for securing all sorts of assets. Web applications, organizations, financial derivatives, non-predatory loan programs, even wills. Each of these could be operated by smart contracts, code that could be programmed to carry out transactions without the need for intermediaries. A decentralized version of the rideshare industry, for example, could be built to send money directly from passengers to drivers, without Uber swiping a cut of the proceeds. In 2013, Buterin dropped out of college and wrote a 36-page white paper laying out his vision for Ethereum. A new open-source blockchain on which programmers could build any sort of application they wished. Buterin swiped the name from a Wikipedia list of elements from science fiction. From there, he sent it to friends in the Bitcoin community who passed it around. Soon, a handful of programmers and businessmen around the world sought out Buterin in hopes of helping him bring it to life. Within months, a group of 8 men who would become known as Ethereums Founders were sharing a 3-story Airbnb in Switzerland, writing code and wooing investors. Over time, it became apparent that the group had very different plans for the nascent technology. Buterin wanted a decentralized open platform on which anyone could build anything. Others wanted to use the technology to create a business. One idea was to build the crypto equivalent to Google, in which Ethereum would use customer data to sell targeted ads. The men would also squabble over power and titles, which caused a great deal of turmoil in Ether's ranks. In the space of a few months, Buterin had gone from a life of writing code and technical articles to that of a decision-maker grappling with bloated egos and power struggles. His vision for Ethereum hung in the balance. Quote, "The biggest divide was definitely that a lot of these people cared about making money. For me, that was totally not my goal," says Buterin, whose net worth is at least $800 million, according to public records on the blockchain whose accuracy was confirmed by a spokesperson. Quote, "There were even times at the beginning where I was negotiating down the percentages of Ether distribution that both myself and other top-level founders would get in order to be more egalitarian. That did make them upset. Eventually, after months of co-founders attempting to push their own ideas on how Ethereum should be run, Vitalik Buterin made the decision to ask founders Charles Hoskinson and Amir Chetrit to leave the group. And from that point, Buterin set up the Ethereum Foundation, which is the nonprofit organization that helps safeguard Ethereum's infrastructure and fund research and development projects. As the years went on, more and more co-founders would leave the group, and Buterin would then emerge as the philosophical leader of Ethereum. But these problems have sparked a backlash both inside and outside of the blockchain community. As crypto rockets towards the mainstream, its esoteric jargon, idiosyncratic culture, and financial excesses have been met with widespread disdain. Meanwhile, frustrated users are decamping to newer blockchains like Solana and BNB Chain, driven by the prospect of lower transaction fees, alternative building tools, or different philosophical values. Buterin understands why people are moving away from Ethereum. Unlike virtually any other leader in a trillion-dollar industry, he says he's fine with it, especially given that Ethereum's current problems stem from the fact that it has too many users. Losing immense riches doesn't faze him much either. Last year, he dumped $6 billion worth of Shiba Inu tokens that were gifted to him, explaining that he wanted to give some to charity, help maintain the meme coin's value, and surrender his role as a locus of power. In the meantime, he and the Ethereum Foundation, which holds almost $1 billion worth of Ether in reserve, a representative confirmed, are taking several approaches to improve the ecosystem. Last year, they handed out $27 million to Ethereum-based projects, up from $7.7 million in 2019, to recipients including smart contract developers and an educational conference in Lagos. The Ethereum Foundation research team is also working on two crucial technical updates. The first is known as the merge, which converts Ethereum from proof of work, a form of blockchain verification, to proof of stake, which the EF says will reduce Ethereum's energy usage by more than 99% and make the network more secure. Buterin has been stumping for proof of stake since Ethereum's founding, but repeated delays have turned implementation into a waiting for Godot style drama. At ETH Denver, the EF researcher Danny Ryan declared that the merge would happen within the next 6 months, unless something insanely catastrophic happens. The same day, Buterin encouraged companies worried about the environmental impact to delay using Ethereum until the merge is completed, even if it gets delayed until 2025. So hopefully as time passes, these kinks in Ethereum will get sorted out. In the meantime, all we can do is hold on to our wallets and hope for the best. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, please feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to click that notification bell to stay up to date on all things crypto and NFT related. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.